Back to throw, and here's the blitz by Mike Vrabel. The pass is intercepted. It's gone. By Ty Law. 30, 25, 20, 15, touchdown. Ty Law picks it up and takes it to the house.
The most combative radio host on the planet.
You're going to be doing a lot of doobie rolling when you're living in a van down by the river.
Such a sexy radio host.
He was no slouch in bed.
You son of a bitch.
Man, I'm so hyped right now. Anything's possible. Anything's possible!
Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
This town needs an enema.
I'm gonna make him an offer again.
Now, live on ESPN Radio, the Jim Censabella Show.
Are you ready? Because it's my time.
Back here, hour number 2, Jim Censabella Show. Joining us at 4:20 will be Tim Britton from the Providence Journal, talking about some Sox, baseball, and the up-and-coming phenom, we all hope, or you all hope. Hope he trips on a banana peel on the way to the station. But no, it's pretty exciting to see that kid come up and see if he can do what he can do. 5'2" player, he can run, he can hit. Love to see it happen, so we'll get a little more insight as to when we might see the young Rusney Castillo play. Red Sox off tonight. Go back at it tomorrow against Tampa Bay. Got some football tonight. Last final preseason football game. Everybody can get all giggity up. The Giants at home against your New England Patriots, 7:30 tonight. And a slew of other games. They're all Thursday. Are they all Thursday?
I believe they're all tonight, yeah.
Because then the season starts. Does it start Monday night?
No, a week from today.
So a week from today. So the opening game is going to be
Thursday.
Thursday night. And that's Seattle and
Green Bay.
Green Bay going to Seattle.
to Seattle. Oh, that place is going to be rocking.
It should be good. Like you said, they'll drop the banners.
Drop
have
the
whole
banner.
12-man night.
I think it's great. I love seeing Seattle.
Maybe get a favorable call in the last play in the end zone.
And
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers and company will play.
Did you
remember-
like seeing
remember
Seattle
that.
win?
Party pooper roll.
I love seeing Seattle win a Super Bowl. I loved it. I go
I'm
back
not
to
talking about the Super Bowl. I'm talking about that game a few years ago, 2 years ago, Monday night game.
Yeah, Green Bay.
The last game.
replacement referees.
Yeah, when they
immaculate
screwed
call.
it up. Right, in the end zone.
Non-call.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
What's his name from Notre Dame caught the ball?
Golden Tate.
Golden Tate.
Even though it was wrestled away by the safety, M.D.
Yeah.
Jennings, it should have been a pick.
And there's Pete Carroll jumping up and down with his hands.
Yeah, like a
doing
schoolgirl.
And that's what led to the strike being over.
Yep.
Yeah, that was
That
it.
was the last straw.
Everybody came out and said, if you don't get them back here, we got problems right now. Yeah, I was right. I love it. But I still like seeing Seattle. I go back to the Jim Zorn days when Jim Zorn was quarterbacking for Seattle in the 80s. It's Steve Largent. Yeah.
I mean, I like everything
The
about
Boz.
Yeah, the Boz. Wow.
What talk about he wasn't the biggest bust. The dude that came out that was on Sports Illustrated a few years later.
Entman?
No, he went to play for the Colts. It was
Jeff George?
No,
he was
he
another linebacker.
He ended up 2 years, played another season with somebody else, and now he's best friends with Axl Rose from Guns N' Roses.
Yeah, I thought it was Entman, but maybe not.
No, it was, you say the name. Go back to the biggest. He was an offensive tackle, number 71. He was for the Indianapolis Colts. You can go back to probably 80, 88, 89. He's right there. You can't. Big house. Remember the article they put in Sports Illustrated was how much this kid ate on a daily basis, and it filled up a refrigerator. You'll think of it. I know you're looking it up. If you
I'd like to hang out with him on Sunday
sounds
football
good,
afternoons.
actually, yeah.
Big bust. He was the biggest bust. Well, I guess Ryan Leaf would be probably the biggest
Well,
bust.
Jamarcus Russell, too.
Yeah. Talk about guys that were so, I mean.
He ate himself out of the league.
Yeah, well, that was.
What about Ryan Mallett? No?
He's not a bust.
Not
He's a
yet.
third-round
No?
pick.
Not
Oh,
yet.
he's not a bust.
I
right.
think
He's a
I
third-round
think
pick.
Jamarcus Russell, yeah, that was a bomb. But Matt Leinart?
Yeah,
Yeah, but at least he
Serviceable
was in the
backup.
20s. I mean,
It was a joke.
he was at first round, but
He was
I mean,
a joke.
USC?
He was excellent there.
Yeah. Well, because he was in a. I mean,
well, because
that's
Reggie
a
Bush
question.
pushed him into the end
Help me
zone.
understand something. How does a guy like Matt Leinart, who's a Heisman Trophy winner, correct? Didn't he win the Heisman one year?
Yes.
Okay.
Him and Bush each won one?
Yes.
I think so, yeah.
Yes.
You win that like that. A guy like Tim Tebow won not one, but two. Yet they get to the NFL. What is the big difference? I mean, you guys know football
No,
better than I
Tebow
do.
won one and two
Well,
national
national
titles.
Two national titles.
Yeah.
What is the big difference from the college? I mean, is it
Arm
that
strength.
big? Is it arm strength? But didn't Team Tebow was like lighting it up in the college football?
Accuracy for Tebow, reading the defense, things like
And
that.
the run
he didn't,
game.
He didn't have to do a lot of that in Florida with his scheme.
Yeah,
Was,
but in Florida, he scored like 25 touchdowns on the ground.
yeah, but
right?
I'm just
Yeah.
saying,
Yeah.
as that's the difference in the
Right.
NFL is speed of the game. The windows are tighter. That you have to throw with more accuracy, more zip on it. And when you lack
No,
one or the other, it's going to be a long day.
It's called the next level for a reason because that's what it is. Everybody is bigger, faster, stronger, smarter.
Sounds like the Bionic Man commercial again.
There you go.
Biggest
Achilles
butt-
Smith, remember him?
Oh yeah, he played for
Oregon,
Cincinnati.
Third overall.
Cincinnati,
Oregon
right?
Duck,
Achilles
Oregon
Smith.
Duck,
Correct.
Quarterback. Yeah.
Cincinnati Bengals.
At Oregon, 43 touchdowns, 14 picks in 2 seasons.
He's another example. Excellent. in
Tony
college.
Is it Manfred? Tony something was his name. Big guy. Big white dude.
Before my time, I think.
Oh, I'll think of the name in a minute. Jamarcus Russell. So he did eat his way out of life.
Yeah, I wasn't kidding.
Look at a picture of Jamarcus Russell. Look at him, Nick. Talk about Fat Albert.
Looks like
That
me,
and the scissor.
that looks like me late night.
Wow.
Food and scissor was his
They have a
demise.
list. Foods.
Oh, his playing weight was like 270, wasn't it?
Oh, he was a monster. He was. I
like
mean,
Culpepper.
that was the worst pick because you knew he was going to be awful.
Number 1 was Jamarcus Russell. Number 2 was Ryan Leaf. I love that. I love
on
that.
this bus
and
list?
he's in a Montana prison on drug charges.
Who?
Ryan Leaf. He
Is
got
he?
sentenced a couple years ago. Yeah.
Montana?
Montana.
They have drug charges out in Montana?
I'm a man. I'm 40.
Tim Couch. Remember that name? Tim Couch?
Yeah, of course,
yeah.
Cleveland Browns,
Browns,
Kentucky.
1999.
I even give you the
No,
Kentucky.
Nebraska, wasn't he?
Tim Couch, Kentucky.
Kentucky. I'm thinking Nebraska.
Eric
there
Crouch
were
was Nebraska.
five first-round quarterbacks in that draft.
He works
99.
at Kentucky. He works for
Including
Fox.
Dono McNabb.
Breeze was that in that
Was
draft
not a
too,
bust.
Right? Was Breeze a part of that draft?
No. Breeze was
Jamarcus
2000.
Russell. Here's another one for you. Penn State.
The next year?
Curtis Enos.
Yep, running
Yep.
back, Chicago
1998.
Bears.
Rod Bears. Yeah.
Sean Salam could probably be in there too.
Kajana Carter?
He's now a head coach in Ohio, high school in Ohio. Kajana Carter, there he is.
Yep.
Cleveland, Cincinnati.
That Penn State team was unbeaten that he was on.
Cincinnati's in there a lot. That's not a good trend.
He now runs an
Peter
energy
Warwick.
company called Boy Globe, and he wants to get into TV. Kajana Carter. Brian Bosworth.
What's the name of the company?
Boy Joy. B-Y.
What?
Boy Globe? What the
No,
hell
hang
kind
on.
is
Let me
that?
get it again. Come on.
Kajana-
BYO. Bio Globe. Sorry.
Boy,
I
Boy
said
Globe.
Boy Globe.
Is that like a nightlight
I thought you
factory?
said like Boy George.
The
nightclub
Boz.
or
Brian
something.
Bosworth. He's now an actor, a small
Yep.
part in a remake of The Longest Yard.
Yeah.
Charles
Brown?
Charles Rogers. Number
I
2
don't
draft
remember
pick in the Lions 2003.
Oh, yes, I do. He was
Wide
Wide
receiver,
receiver.
Michigan State.
Michigan State, right.
After a string of legal issues, he entered the Houston rehab facility last year. Good point.
One of 4 wide receivers taken in the first round by Detroit in a 5-year span.
And it finally ended with Calvin Johnson.
Andre Ware,
Yep.
quarterback, Lions.
89?
Yeah, 90 he played for them, yeah.
Yep.
Broadcaster for ESPN, ABC. He's done well. Achilles Smith, we mentioned earlier. What do you think Achilles doing nowadays?
Working at the local 7-Eleven.
He's coaching high school football, looking to get his college degree.
He's going to hire Ryan Mallett as his assistant coach.
Cade McNown. Cade McNown.
Yeah, that's Cade McClown.
Cade
Right.
McClown, number 8. Bears pick 1999, number 12.
Yeah.
He's a vice president of Thompson National Properties real estate investment firm. Good for him. Good boy. Like
Yeah,
to see
it was Steve Entman, Jim. The
Steve
one we were
Entman.
thinking on the Colts. Steve Entman. First
Yep.
overall pick, 92.
that. Yep.
Defensive end from University of Washington. Many believed.
Went to Indianapolis Colts, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Entman, number 90.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
There's a little write-up. Just as many believe Tony Mandarich would revolutionize
That's
the
it.
offensive
Tony Mandarich
tackle
is the guy I was
position.
thinking of. That's the guy.
Many assume the same of Steve Entman at defensive end. Entman took home every award possible
Yeah, in
at his
college.
position in 91, even finishing 4th in the Heisman behind Des Howard.
Wow.
Casey Weldon and Ty Detmer, another couple of winners. After several consecutive knee injuries during his short stint with the Colts, Entman eventually hung up the cleats after a brief appearance with the Redskins in 1997. He currently works as a real estate developer in Spokane Valley, Washington. Steve Entman.
Yeah, that I remember. Tony Mandarich was the one I was thinking of, though. He was the one, top 10 can't miss prospect who missed the number. He was a number 1 draft pick. And there's the one. They called him the Incredible Bulk. And it was about what this kid ate. And this was back in whatever year. I can't remember. And then it was Where Are They Now Bust. He ended up his career with the Green Bay Packers. and failed.
Rick Myers on this list.
Oh, Notre Dame. Notre Dame.
He at least hung around in the league.
Yeah, he
though,
was-
for
He was a
years.
Heisman Trophy. Did he win? No, he didn't win the Heisman
No.
Trophy. But he wasn't he the quarterback? No, who
Notre
was the
Dame.
quarterback for Notre Dame when they won it in '88? Tony, not Banks. It was a black guy,
I don't know.
black quarterback.
I only follow the U.
I know. Follow the U. Tony Mandrich. Yeah, he followed. He ended up going.
I only follow real
He got
teams.
so angry.
The Patriots were considering drafting Rick Meyer.
Yeah, I remember that.
It was down to him or Bledsoe.
Yeah. This kid ended up walking away from football, got on his motorcycle. He was living out in Montana, hooked up with Axl Rose and toured with the band for a year. With all his money.
Hey, he could have made worse decisions.
No, hey, listen, nothing wrong with
It's
that.
a good time.
Here's
a good time.
Bosworth on this list.
The Boz, he's on that commercial right now. Take me back. Take me back. He comes in. It's a restaurant. He comes walking into. I can't remember what the hell the commercial.
Take me back.
Chili's baby back ribs.
No, it's a.
Oh, well, my
the
baby back
Boz. You saw that one, right? It's on a commercial.
No,
ESPN's got it. Yeah.
I'm out of the loop.
Tony
The Boz
Mandrich.
loop.
He looks like a large boy right now. Enjoying life behind the camera. Mandrich has been called everything from the incredible bulk, and he now runs a camera company. Pretty cool. 603-883-9900. We got Tim Britton joining us at 4:20, talking some Red Sox baseball. Football tonight. Patriots are on at 7:30 playing the Giants in, what's it called now? Not Meadowlands.
MetLife.
MetLife Stadium.
Beautiful stadium, by the way.
I haven't been.
It's nice.
I've been a couple times. It's great.
It's nice.
Not, not a bad seat.
Meadowlands was a dump.
Nice place.
Talk
Yeah.
about a toilet bowl.
Yeah.
It was a complete toilet bowl.
I'd like to
Not
Boy.
as bad as Shea Stadium.
I'd like to pull a Triumph
know-
the Talking Dog at MetLife Stadium.
The,
If anyone knows what I'm
the
talking
one
about.
character about the old Shea Stadium was that you could be at the top row, all the way up in nosebleed heaven, at the far end, and you could draw a straight line through the parking lot, like they had the end zone, like it went out to it fanned out. So if you drew a straight line to the guy across from you, you were basically in the parking lot looking that way at the game.
The parking lot was behind center field for the most part. Yeah.
They had the old, they had their boxes there, and
The
there's.
Big Apple
Oh my
will
God.
come out of the
Yeah.
thing.
Lawrence Phillips is on this boss list.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking of the Patriots old Schaefer Stadium.
Schaefer Stadium.
Yeah, that's what they used to. The old
Sullivan
Patriots.
Stadium?
Sullivan Stadium was Schaefer Stadium at one point.
metal
and Sullivan
bleachers?
Stadium, the metal bleachers.
I hated that.
That's those. I went to a game in 1984. Joe Montana was coming here to play, blowing 40-mile-an-hour winds in December, snowing out, and was sitting on metal benches with Carhartt suits on.
Right.
It was not pleasant.
Pats were pretty good then. They're 85 Super Bowl appearance.
Yeah, it was.
Steve Grogan.
It was. It had to be 85. I wasn't driving yet, so it was 84, 85. Yeah. Yep. Got the tickets. Get this. You know where I bought the tickets from?
Where?
The old Strawberry Records.
Strawberries. Oh,
Back
yeah.
in the day, Strawberry Records was the Ticketmaster's location.
Oh, yeah.
I used to buy a lot of
yeah.
concert tickets.
Yeah,
for
yeah.
them.
That's where we used to go get our
Yeah,
concert tickets.
absolutely, yeah.
Sold Patriots tickets for them. Imagine that, Strawberry.
This has got Russell as number one all time.
Of course.
yeah,
He's
I
got to
believe
be.
that. I believe that.
He works at the Waffle House.
Biggest baseball bust.
With Mandridge at 2, by the way.
What do you think for biggest baseball bust ever?
Baseball.
Oh, God.
That'd be tough.
It's got to be one of those big contracts.
Yeah, to me, it was the dude that was, oh, God, he pitched for Atlanta. He ended up salvaging his career, pitched for Atlanta, but he wouldn't sign.
Hampton.
Yeah, Mike Hampton. Went and signed for, was it San Francisco? Big money. Floundered over there. Look at Bryce Harper right now. He had a tough time this season. They were actually thinking about people were saying he should get on AAA. I'm thinking, he's one of the faces of Major League Baseball.
yeah, in that organization.
Yeah. And the coach came out and said, what are you, out of your
Yeah,
mind?
exactly.
I mean, the guy plays like a brick house.
And
you
they're
know?
still in playoff contention.
Sure. Although and they didn't shut down what's his name Strasburg this year like they did last year. Remember that when they shut him down? Everybody's like, "What are you?"
I think
doing?
that was
2
2
years
years
ago.
ago.
2 years ago. Sorry,
And he couldn't
Davey.
pitch in the playoffs. They got swept out, I believe.
Davey Johnson. Is Davey Johnson still the coach of that team?
No.
That's Actor, right?
Isn't it Matt?
Manny
Yeah.
Actor?
Yeah.
No, I thought it was Matt. I thought it was the old third baseman.
Oh, it's Matt Williams.
Matt
Matt
Williams, the
Williams,
third
yeah.
baseman from San Francisco.
Yeah,
Right.
it was Actor, who didn't get a fair shake. But
Just throw that out.
love Matt Williams, I thought.
Oh, yeah.
He was one of my
The
favorites.
Hard nosed.
The
One of my favorites
Diamondbacks
as a kid.
could have won the home run title the year they struck.
94 at 43 when they struck on August
Hitting
12th.
bombs.
Heart.
It was a big part of that
bombs.
World Series team that
Oh, yeah.
Schilling and Johnson were co-MVPs.
Yeah, I remember.
Yes.
Those are good games back then.
Net worth $50 million.
Even though they beat
Who?
the Yankees,
Matt
you
Williams.
enjoyed that?
Net worth $50 million. What are you doing?
That's what it
Invest
says
well?
right here.
You enjoyed that? Watching the Diamondbacks take down your beloved Yanks?
Why do you got to go there?
Just,
The whole shilling. That was during 9/11. It pissed me off. I didn't sleep. I was living with at the time before my wife. I broke the TV.
Did you?
I hate
pissed
the
off.
Yankees.
When that
I
ball-
hate the Yankees.
When that ball goes up the middle, I was in. I couldn't sit. We were laying in bed watching a game, and I got up and I went in the living room, and I got PO'd.
Louis G.
PO'd.
Rich.
And I grabbed the nearest thing to me, which you not know it was a rather shapely, really cool vase
right.
that she had. It was really cool, and I found out after where it came from. But I threw it at the TV, shattered it in 100 pieces. Oh yeah, we had an apartment at the time. People were living downstairs, didn't dig it. Shattered it. Dog scattered. She never woke up.
You didn't pull a Josh Shaw?
I just fired it right at him. So pissed off. Because it was the whole thing, right? They had stopped baseball because of 9/11. Everything was going on. And it was Giuliani. It was Bush at the game.
That game was in November.
New York. Yeah, it was in November.
Yeah.
Shattered the TV.
I hate the Yankees.
Yeah. Shattered the TV.
Rich with a sneaky, unprovoked attack.
The best part was the next morning, he came in like camouflage. I got up the next morning, and we lived on the second floor, and it was a big old, the big old heavy TVs with the, they don't make them now, but
right, this was before the flat, long before the flat screens.
And this thing, the back of this thing was like, I don't know, 300 pounds. I opened the window because it was close to where the garbage barrel was, and just dropped it. Just let it go and dropped, and then picked the pieces up the next day. Oh yeah, thanks, Rich. You suck.
Hey,
I thought I forgot about
so
that.
the Yankees.
Taking a break now. I'm pissed off. 603-883-9900. Jeez, why'd you bring that up?
Because you talked about Matt Williams and you love the Diamondbacks, and I just said you love them even though they beat your beloved Yankees. So it was a legit question.
ESPN New Hampshire. Go to ESPNNHradio.com. Jim Censabella Show. We'll be right back.
This is your NBC Sports Radio update.
A new policy in the NFL as NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell, after apologizing for his decision in the Ray Rice case, has implemented a new domestic violence policy, a 6-game suspension for a first offense and a lifetime ban for a second offense. Tonight, the fourth and final week of the NFL preseason with all 32 teams in action. In college football, there are 8 SEC teams in the top 25, and 2 of them are going to go head-to-head tonight as number 9 South Carolina hosts number 21 Texas A&M, and number 18 Ole Miss will take on Boise State. Daytime baseball, they're going to the top of the 9th in Detroit. The Tigers and the Yankees still tied 2-2, and bottom of the 8th in Cincinnati, the Reds routing the Cubs 7-0. I'm Jeff Biggs, NBC Sports Radio.
Labor Day savings are in full swing at the Home Depot with 10% off appliances $396 or more. So let's kick those old appliances to the curb. You're long overdue for an upgrade. Like a KitchenAid stainless steel French door refrigerator, now available at the Home Depot. Let's do this with 10% off appliances. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Valid through September 10th, U.S. only. KitchenAid available in select stores and everywhere online. See store for details.
All cars are racing against time. Some are just doing better than others. Right now at Firestone Complete Auto Care, get 25% off select Firestone Affinity Touring tires. Firestone Complete Auto Care. Whatever you drive, drive a Firestone.
Offer valid August 18th through August 31st. Exclude certain models. In-store installation fees apply. See store for full details.
ESPN New Hampshire and the Monahan Properties present Merrimack Rocks, a free evening of music and fun for the whole family. It goes down at Watson Park from 4 to 8 p.m. on September 27th. There will be a huge fireworks extravaganza that you don't want to miss. There also includes petting zoo, climbing walls, bungee trampoline jumping, and yes, Wally the Green Monster. It also includes live music and tributes to Merrimack citizens. It all goes down September 27th from 4 to 8 p.m. at Watson Park. Merrimack Rocks is presented by ESPN New Hampshire and the Monahan Properties.
Tropical Point Restaurant and Bar in Nashua has the best Spanish cuisine in the state of New Hampshire. Tropical Point captures the true Latin flavor with their exotic menu. Stop by for their amazing roasted chicken or pork shoulder, even their traditional fajitas and rice. The staff is friendly, the service is prompt. It really is a one-of-a-kind experience. Whether it's breakfast, lunch, dinner, or just drinks with friends, you can dine in Tropical Point's fun atmosphere or have it delivered right to your home or office. Plus, take advantage advantage of their $5 lunch specials. And don't forget, the game is always on. So head over to the Tropical Point Restaurant and Bar on West Hollis Street in Nashua and like them on Facebook.
Tropical Point Restaurant and Bar, 58 West Hollis Street in Nashua. Call 603-889-9612. That's 603-889-9612 for true Latin flavor today.
Lung cancer. It's a powerful force, but so are you. You have the power to save a life. Join us for the Chelmsford Free to Breathe 5K Run Walk on September 7th at Harrington Elementary School. One day of action can make a lifetime of impact. Together, we have the power to make lung cancer survival the expectation, not the exception. Register and start fundraising today at freetobreathe.org.
Lease examples are 24 or 36 months with 10,000 miles a year with 3,000 cash or trade equity down. Administration, tax, title, and destination charges are not included. Must qualify for all incentives. All rebates to dealer. See dealer for details. Don't let the calendar fool you. With 0 for 60-month financing back on select vehicles, there are some hot deals waiting for you during the Labor Day sales event at Bonneville & Son Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. There's plenty of summer and fall driving season in front of us, so enjoy it with a loaded 4-door 2015 Chrysler 200 for just $139 a month. Drive a loaded 2014 Chrysler Town & Country minivan for just $149 a month. It's sporty, sexy, and fun, plus offers great gas mileage. Meet the 2014 Dodge Start for just $99 a month. Don't miss the Labor Day savings that have made Bonneville & Son Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram New Hampshire's #1 selling Chrysler dealer. Take exit 9S off I-93 in Manchester.
4 generations, one passion, believe in Bonneville.
Online at BonnevilleandSon.com.
Hey, it's Mike Greenberg here. You're tuned in to ESPN New Hampshire.
Scores, standings, trades, and rumors. This is the ESPN New Hampshire Sports Center.
The Boston Red Sox, after taking 2 out of 3 against the Toronto Blue Jays, have the night off tonight, and then they'll be in Tampa Bay tomorrow to take on the Rays. Anthony Renando will be making his 3rd Major League start. He has a 4.50 ERA through his first 2, and Rusney Castillo will be with the team. We'll find out, hopefully in moments, when Tim Britton joins the Jim Censabella show, whether he will dress for tomorrow night or not. Tonight at 7:30 will be the final preseason game for the New England Patriots and the rest of the National Football League as they gear up as the regular season begins 1 week from today when Green Bay visits the Seattle Seahawks. All you fantasy football fans, tune in tonight, 6 to 8 p.m. as the Boston Billiards Fantasy Football Show with myself, Rich Flerra, and Nick Anastos get you ready for all your fantasy football drafts. You can text in questions by joining the ESPN New Hampshire Text Club. Just simply text JOIN to 50352, and we'll answer all of your fantasy questions and conundrums tonight. This Sports Center update was brought to you by CSA Graphics. For all your ESPN New Hampshire apparel, just visit ESPNNHradio.com.
College football is upon us. The Jim Censabella Show live in studio downtown Nashua, New Hampshire. It's a balmy 89 degrees outside right now. Beautiful. Go to ESPNNHradio.com. Joining me in a few minutes will be Tim Britton from the Providence Journal, talking some socks. It'd be cool to see the kid Castillo finally get his debut and play.
I hope
the hell's the sense of putting him down in AAA? I mean, this guy, for all points, if you're going to sign a guy for that much of a contract, he's almost like a Puig at that point, ready to go.
He's ready to go. He's 27 years old.
What position? Is that outfielder? Is it center field?
Outfielder. We'll see where they stick him. They're going to have to figure it out, but he can play anywhere.
Why do I get the feeling that Cespedes doesn't want to be here?
I don't know. You tell me.
I don't know. I just get this feeling. I don't know, the way he came when he got here, and he was caught off guard, a lot of bad blood. He felt like Billy Bean kind of, But, I mean, I still say it was a bad trade for Oakland. I mean, look at the way they're playing right now. Look at the way they're playing baseball right now. Let's bring him in. Tim Britton from the Providence Journal join us, talking some Red Sox. Timothy, how are you today?
Good. How are you doing, Jim?
I'm good, thanks. Thanks for coming on. So, Castillo cleared immigration, got his card, he's got his work visa. He's stamped, smack it up, flip it, rub it down. Is this guy playing or what?
there's no set plan just yet. I mean, I imagine there'll be kind of a couple days of workouts to make sure he's in proper game shape before they put him in a game. But you have, I think, the Gulf Coast League Red Sox who play down in Fort Myers there in the postseason, which I think starts today for them. So you could play maybe in a game there or so. And then you've got Portland in AA is going to the postseason. Pawtucket in AAA might be going to the postseason. So he might get, could work his way up the system where he plays, down in Florida a little bit, then in AA/AAA before he gets to the major league somewhere in the middle of September, I would guess.
You don't think there's a chance right now where they just bring him in here and start getting him in a real-time game at the MLB level and not go through that process?
Just considering that he hasn't played a real baseball game in like 18 months, I don't know that that's the best thing. I remember a couple of weeks ago we joked Corey Brown had come up from AAA and hadn't had an at-bat in like 10 days because he hadn't played in the major league. His first at-bat against Aroldis Chapman and how unfair that was to him. And then you think about trying to do that with Rusney Castillo. Hasn't played in 18 months.
Yeah.
It'd be tough to throw him into an environment like that.
Gotcha. Cool. Gotcha. I like to see him play. I mean, as soon as possible, get him up here. Why not? But you never know. The team's been playing, half decent. They've been playing as best they can with limited. Big Papi going down. Is he all set to play in the game tomorrow?
It should be. I mean, he played last night, so he should be. Everything should be set to go for him in Tampa.
Yeah.
Tim, I want to ask you about Tommy Lane. He seems to have asserted himself as the lefty out in the bullpen, the situational guy that maybe Breslow was in the playoffs last year, Alan Embry in the years past. Has Tommy Lane emerged as an integral part of the bullpen moving forward?
This is one of those interesting things that happens late in the season is you get a guy like Lane who was brought in, a minor league deal in the offseason. And basically, when he comes in spring training, you're thinking, like, what are the chances this guy's going to pitch for them? Because you had Miller, you had Breslow, you had Chris Capuano in camp. So you had a lot of left-handers in front of him. But what the Red Sox have been good at doing is when guys like that pitch well in the minor leagues, they get their shot eventually. And Lane has certainly carried it over. I mean, he had a great year in Kentucky. He pitched very well. I think his ERA is still under 1 at the major league level. A guy who kind of resurrected his career when he went to the bullpen a couple of years ago. So he's become kind of an interesting guy for next season. The problem is when you get into August, September, especially September, the evaluations are kind of difficult because you're facing teams with expanded rosters after a while, and you're not facing kind of the best competition like you would before September 1st. So while it's been good so far, we'll see how long it continues and whether he can be a guy that you can kind of pencil into the bullpen for next season, especially considering that Breslow has kind of pitched his way out of it, where you probably aren't going to pick up his option for next season.
All right. Tim, Nick, and Anastos here. I want to go back to our new friend Castillo here for a second. We've heard a lot of comparisons. Tough to tell until we actually get to see him with our own eyeballs. But based on what you've heard, based on what you know about Castillo, who's the major league player you find most comparable skill set-wise?
I haven't seen anything. What I've heard in scouting reports, which is probably similar to what you guys have, is maybe like a Shane Victorino type. Shane Victorino's prime with perhaps the potential to add power. I mean, he wasn't a power hitter when he was playing in Cuba, and he's had a significant period of time off in which he's added like 20 pounds of muscle. I mean, you look at him, the physique is really good. So he's more of a line drive hitter, but with that power potential, the defense should be there, the speed should be there. I think the major question mark is whether he can hit on a consistent basis for average, for on base, and those kinds of things. He's not exactly a patient hitter. His walk rate, even in Serie Nacional in Cuba, was very low. So I think that would be a concern going in. But I think Victorino is a name I've heard. That kind of player, speedy center fielder with a little bit of pop in there.
Well, what's the trickle effect here, Tim, with Castillo? Obviously, he'll take center field, and Jackie Bradley Jr. obviously is already in AAA. What's the trickle effect for Jackie Bradley Jr.? His days numbered here in Boston? Is he part of a trade package in the offseason, or maybe will Jackie play his right field down the line? What do you see happening with Jackie Bradley Jr.?
They've got a lot of balls in the air in terms of the outfield because not only do you have now Castillo and Bradley in center field, but you've got Victorino and Craig as your right fielders, Cespedes and Nava as left fielders for next year. You've got Mookie Betts, who's playing pretty well now in his little audition, who can play the outfield now too. So you've got all these different names to juggle to figure out what you want to do with. So I'm not really sure what happens. I think if you were trying to rank those guys on the likelihood that they're in the starting outfield on opening days next year, Bradley's probably at the bottom of that list because he's had, I think between 500 and 600 major league plate appearances where he just hasn't shown much improvement. And I think there is a little frustration that he hasn't shown improvement yet, and that he seems to feel that his swing is okay as is. And a lot of people in the organization don't really think it is right now because it is a longer swing. He's got to do some work on the fundamentals of it, and there's probably a growing concern that maybe it's just not suited to the major league level. Maybe he is a fourth outfielder whose defense will take him into the major leagues, but the offense will consistently lag behind. So it's tough to trade him this offseason just because his stock has fallen so much. You could see him kind of start next year in AAA as that extra outfielder that you feel okay with calling up for a shorter stint in the majors, but not an extended one. But I'm really not sure what they do with him right now.
I'm also looking at a guy who's done very well for this team, and Brock Holt. But he's played pretty much every position on this team, and I'm just trying to figure out where does he fit in next year, or what's the conversation like, or where's a good spot for Brock? Because clearly the guy can hit the ball and he can field everywhere.
Right. The one position you look at is probably still open for next year is at third base, where Will Middlebrooks hasn't. The hope was that on August 1st you call Will Middlebrooks up and he seizes that job by the horns the way he did in 2012. But this has been more like last year for Middlebrooks. Hasn't had that consistent plate approach. It hasn't really shown the power either. He hasn't hit a home run in the major league since April. So you could say maybe Holt is the guy at third. I think the preference would be to enter next season with Holt as kind of your super utility guy.
Yeah.
A guy who can play, play 3 days a week at 3 different positions, give your regulars time off, and you're not really getting a huge drop off because while he's had a really nice year, he's tailed off a little since the All-Star break. I think he's got a sub 300 on base percentage since the All-Star break. He's probably not a guy you want to go into next year counting on to repeat the success he had this year. We've seen kind of the problems they've had when they're trying to count on young guys to repeat their success going into next season. So it wouldn't surprise me if they go into next year hoping for him more to be that super utility guy than anything else.
Yeah, let me just piggyback on that real quick because I agree 100%. I think ideally you have him play 3 or 4 times a week, like you said, at 3 or 4 different positions, because what we saw really in the first 3 months of the season is the exception, not necessarily the rule with Brock Holt. Take a look at his track record. Take a look at his numbers, his splits from the minor leagues, his first few years in the majors. That was by far his best stretch early on in the season. So I think he's come back down to earth a little bit and should be a utility player off the bench should be his role.
Right, and you look at the batting average on balls in play. When I looked the other day, it was something like 350. Probably not sustainable for him over a long stretch of time.
Right.
He does have a better minor league track record. Like last year, we're talking about Jose Iglesias and kind of the mirage that he was hitting 380 for a while. And we knew that wasn't going to last long because there wasn't that kind of minor league track record. Holt has a better minor league track record where, he's had years with a 380 on base percentage in the minors. And I think he's over a career 300 hitter in the minor league. So it's not unreasonable to.
He's a good hitter, but I don't know about those power numbers we were seeing.
Right, yeah, he's going to be a singles hitter.
Right.
The occasion, doubles down the line, but he's not a guy that you plug into third base and say he's going to give us third base production.
Right.
One of the things I'm starting to look at, it's kind of get away from the Sox, but do you think that the Oakland A's, if they had to do it all over again, would have made any trades at all at the All-Star break?
Well, I think Hamill was probably the pitcher that's worked out the worst for them. But you look at some of those guys around, you knew Jesse Chavez wasn't going to be able to keep up what he was doing. He'd already, I think by mid-July, he was already at his career high in innings.
Yep.
I think everyone points to what their offense has done since they traded Cespedes for Lester. And obviously the offense has tailed off big time, but look at what Lester's done for them. I don't know what their record is exactly, but Lester had, a couple of days ago when I checked, Lester had half of the wins they had to trade.
Yep.
So you wonder, and Cespedes has been pretty good for the Red Sox. He's been about what you'd expect. He hasn't taken off, he hasn't slumped or anything. It's hard to say that if they had Cespedes that they'd be so much better off than they are right now. I think it's probably just the slump that happens to coincide with that.
It just, to me, this team was on top, basically the best team in baseball at that point, record-wise, the way they were playing. And, you always wonder that trade deadline. And sometimes I wonder, do you really have to make a move? Did you really have to do anything? Same with the Detroit Tigers. The same thing. I wonder if this might be a lesson down the road next year. We see it in the NHL. Some teams in the NHL are doing so well, they just don't make a trade. They just don't need to. They don't want to break up that whole process of a good season. Lost you there. I guess still got you, Tim.
You still with us?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry.
It sounds like you're in a wind tunnel.
Yeah, sorry. Just taking a walk outside.
No worries. Don't trip on anything while you're walking there, buddy. I just, I always wonder about that, whether sometimes they shouldn't just make a move and just leave it alone, let it be.
Yeah, I mean, you look at like Oakland and Detroit, and it seems both of them were kind of prepping for the postseason and getting, game one starters in Lester and in Price. And in doing so, they took away a starting outfielder. They kind of weakened their offense. And now both of them have been caught in their division. I don't think Detroit really, at the time, feared that Kansas City was going to be this threat that they are. Yeah. And Seattle, to an extent, for the second wild card. I mean, if you had said on August 1st, Detroit a month later would be kind of on the outside of the postseason looking in, I think that would have surprised all of us.
Absolutely. Hey, he's Tim Britton for the Providence Journal talking Red Sox baseball. Tim, it's always a pleasure having you on, and we'll look for you maybe when Castillo comes up, we'll get back with you.
Cool. Thanks a lot.
Great. Jim Censabella Show live here. We'll take a quick break. Take your calls at 603-883-9900. Go to ESPNNHradio.com. We'll be right back.
An ESPN Radio Mike and Mike Extra Point.
Sean O'Hara, who is a former NFL player and a really smart guy who's been a guest on this show many times, and I really like and admire very much, was listening to our conversation, and he tweeted at us. And he tweeted, listening to Mike and Mike on ESPN Radio discuss Josh Gordon. NFL is a privilege. If you can't control your vices, you lose that privilege. Sean, with all due respect, that's where you're missing it. The NFL is not a privilege. Someone once said, playing in the NFL is not a right, it's a privilege. And all the NFL players have somehow been deluded into believing that. What does that mean? You're there because you're good enough. You're not there, but it's not a privilege to play in the NFL. You're in the NFL because you work your behind off, because you're incredibly good. And when you're not good enough, they throw you out the door in the blink of an eye and never think about you again. So to be completely honest with you, I don't know what that means, but I don't think playing in the NFL is any more of a privilege than any other job anywhere.
Hear more from Mike and Mike tomorrow morning on ESPN Radio.
O'Reilly. As summer ends, winterizing begins. Pick up Splash RV antifreeze 2 for $8 at O'Reilly Auto Parts. It's ready to use and provides burst protection to minus 50 degrees so you can protect the pipes in your RV, boat, pool, and lake house from the cold weather ahead. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts for Splash RV antifreeze 2 for $8. Better parts, better prices every day.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Labor Day is here at last. Make sure you're ready and hurry in for these great deals from Lowe's. A long weekend is the perfect time to give your home a new look with $10 to $40 off our best paints and stains via online or mail-in rebate. Plus, save an additional 5% every day with your Lowe's consumer credit card. Lowe's, never stop improving. Valid through 9/3. Exclusions apply to both offers. Rebate valid on containers 114 fluid ounces or more only. Credit offers subject to credit approval and can't be combined with other credit offers. See store or Lowe's.com for details. U.S. only.
Tropical Point Restaurant and Bar in Nashua has the best Spanish cuisine in the state of New Hampshire. Tropical Point captures the true Latin flavor with their exotic menu. Stop by for their amazing roasted chicken or pork shoulder, even their traditional fajitas and rice. The staff is friendly, the service is prompt. It really is a one-of-a-kind experience. Whether it's breakfast, lunch, dinner, or just drinks with friends, you can dine in Tropical Point's fun atmosphere or have it delivered right to your home or office. Plus, take advantage of their $5 lunch specials. And don't forget, the game is always on. So head over to the Tropical Point Restaurant and Bar on West Hollis Street in Nashua and like them on Facebook.
Tropical Point Restaurant and Bar, 58 West Hollis Street in Nashua. Call 603-889-9612. That's 603-889-9612 for true Latin flavor today.
Wake up in the bleachers every Saturday morning from 7 to 9 a.m. with Dave McCray.
Just when I think you couldn't possibly be any dumber, you go and do something like this. And totally redeem yourself!
Bob the Coach Wallace.
Just keep matriculating the ball down the field, boys.
Rich Flerra.
You're crazy, man. You're crazy. I like you, but you're crazy.
Every Saturday morning on ESPN New Hampshire.
The bare necessities of healthy living are easy with the Food Pyramid. Be active and eat the right amount of grains, vegetables, fruits, milk, and meats and beans.
Yeah, man.
For a healthier you, visit mypyramid.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Agriculture and the Ad Council.
Hey, it's Scott Van Pelt. You're tuned to New Hampshire's home for sports, ESPN New Hampshire.
Scores, standings, trades, and rumors. This is the ESPN New Hampshire Sports Center.
Tonight will be the final preseason game for all NFL teams, including The New England Patriots, who head to New York to take on the Giants at MetLife Stadium. Kickoff from the Big Apple is at 7:30. Aaron Dobson is expected to make his preseason debut. Meanwhile, Jimmy Garoppolo is expected to play the entire game. Not sure what that means for Ryan Mallett. We can find out as the final cuts have to be trimmed down by Monday. The Boston Red Sox, who took 2 out of 3 in Toronto, are off tonight. They'll start a 3-game set tomorrow in Tampa versus the Rays. Rusney Castillo has cleared immigration, has gotten his work visa, and will join the Boston Red Sox tomorrow in Tampa. No word whether he will play or not. Make sure you follow ESPN NH on Twitter for all your breaking news and updates. Tonight from the Boston Billiards Club in Nashville will be our fantasy football show. Make sure to tune in from 6 to 8 p.m. as Nick Anastos and myself, Rich Flerra, get you ready for all your fantasy drafts. This SportsCenter update was brought to you by Bud Light. Bud Light, gentlemen, a sure sign of a good time.
Back here, hour number 2, getting ready to wrap her up there. That was Tim Britton that joined us from the Providence Journal, talking about some Red Sox baseball and in some future talk about Rusney Castillo, the phenom out of Cuba. Some breaking news, Tony Stewart will race this weekend after taking several weeks off after the death of Kevin Ward, driver on the dirt track up in upstate New York. So Tony Stewart, you NASCAR fanatics, will be back in the saddle again. And, you know.
How do you feel about that?
The problem I had was what the father came out from the young man that died and basically said that, so many words, that he did it on purpose. And you can look at all the footage you want. You're on a dirt track. Number one fault for this was the guy getting out of the car and having to walk down and point to Stewart. Stewart went in the corner. They went in together. There was a rub. There was a hit, like it happens, especially in dirt track racing. And he got knocked out of the race. But because, you know, there's a level of competition. This guy he's a younger kid. He's known on this dirt track. It's like his track, right? Every time he races there, he's known. He's the Dalai Lama of the track. And a lot of these guys that when Tony Stewart's in certain areas of the country, he races. It's his passion is racing dirt track. And they don't like it. They feel like Tony Stewart's, one-ing up in them and wanting them, whatever the hell you want to call it. Just kind of. And there was some conversation prior to the race, and as always, every time Tony races up there, they always have a little verbal thing, and you know how Stewart is. He's competitive, he's tough, he's got a little bit of an edge to him, and had an opportunity to take the guy out of the race, and he took him out. I mean, it's legal. The kid gets out of the car, walks down, flipping him off, swearing at him. Tony Stewart's just coming around the track. He didn't go out of his way to hit him. You don't see him swoop out with the tires and hit him.
I don't know, man. I've seen the videos. I don't think at all, 100% he did not intend to hit him or absolutely not kill him. But you hear the throttle. You see the fishtail in his direction. I think he definitely tried to spook him. I don't think he tried to hit him. But that's
revving the engine kind of thing.
Well, he was going towards him, and you can hear the engine throttle. So he hit the gas as he approached him. And when that happens, you listen to NASCAR analysis, break it down. Every person who drives one of those cars knows when you do that, your back end is going to fishtail.
Sure.
And that's what he was probably intending to do towards him.
But it wasn't the back tire that got him. It was the front right tire.
So, well, you don't throttle approaching somebody who's out of their car. Was it on purpose? No. Should he be held accountable? Yes. But that's why there's a thing called negligence, and he was negligent. Wasn't his.
Oh, you're out of your mind. Not one person's proved it. Everybody in NASCAR shut up. Everybody in the racing world shut up.
Yeah, because they don't want to talk about it.
Well, because there's not enough evidence there. You can't say it was negligent because he revved the engine and went. Have you ever sat in one of those cars? It's pretty tough to see. I got to sit in one time. It's pretty tough to see all the angles you think we see on a TV camera.
Yeah, the nets and everything.
The negligent one to me is the kid getting out of the car. That's it. You're the negligent one. That's like being in an accident on the highway on Route 3. And what they tell you to do, Nick, what do they tell you? Stay in your car. Don't get out. You get out, somebody else comes by that's not paying attention. Or maybe Tony didn't even see him. He knew he hit him in the corner. We all know that. But it's negligence on the kid for getting out of the car. The father coming out and saying what he said pissed me off.
I think they're both negligent.
Well, I disagree with it. I think that the kid getting out of the car is negligent. I think Tony Stewart's riding around the track The kid got angry because Tony knocked him into the wall. It happens all the time. You see these guys in NASCAR get out, throw their helmets at him and all that. Hey, if one of them gets hit, they're negligent. I mean, I don't know. I just find it. But did Tony do the right thing by staying out and taking a few weeks off? Sure. To me, that's the right thing. You should have a little bit of. I mean, somebody got killed on the track by your tire.
I don't think he should be racing the rest of the season.
Well, but the sponsorship money that's behind it. He's in the Cup run.
That's ridiculous. That money's being taken into
account.
Well,
how about this?
When a young man loses his life.
Yeah, but what is it going to?
But it wasn't his fault.
What's it going to accomplish, though?
Yeah, well, it wasn't his fault. I mean, listen, it was concrete proof, and he just drove at him.
Well, you're never going to have that because it's going to be
right.
It's all through videos.
So if the glove doesn't fit, you must acquit, and you can't go after him and say that. You can't say he was negligent. People haven't said that he was negligent. People have made comments saying, "Well,
I watched the video."
Yeah, but I mean, these are NASCAR expert fans that are like, I mean, you can listen to the throttle. I heard that. You're right. I heard the little fishtail, but the front tire is what hit the guy, not the back tire. And if you fishtail and you know you're going to kick your ass, send out, we all know, then it's the back tire that would have hit him. Then I would have said, man, he got a little bit of a case here. But it's the front tire that hits him as he's turning. But the kid coming out like that, I mean, I get it. It's his track. I get the whole thing. But, I mean, it's NASCAR. It's racing. And it's sad that the guy died. But for Stewart, you can't stay out. He's in the middle of a hunt for a sprint cup. And he's got sponsors. And he owns another racing team on his own. And he owns this team. So, can't. My thought would be, do you really need to go race dirt tracks? I mean, last year, he got severely hurt last year, and it cost a couple races, and it cost the team. I mean, people spend money on a guy's race car because of the guy in the seat. And when he's off playing because I enjoy it, and it's my fun, which, okay, he has the right to do that, he's hurting his own team by doing that. Do I think he should be racing in them? No, don't think he should be. But does it help the guy that owns that track knowing that Tony Stewart's going to race that day? Hell yeah, it does. So, I don't know. You're kind of caught in that. Unless NASCAR comes out and says you cannot race in other than a Busch Cup Series or a Sprint Cup Series, that's it, then that'll never happen because it's all about money. So, stinks that the guy died. Crazy story years ago, if you remember when Kenny Irwin crashed in Loudon. He crashed, I'm sorry, take that back. Petty's kid, Adam Petty, crashed at Loudon a year before, something like that, a race before. They have him in July and September. He crashed in the third turn at Loudon, coming around into this one area and died. We go up there for the next race, and it was with one of the Bud guys, buddy of mine, and we go up in the corner to specifically walk up there. Talk about surreal. To walk up to that corner to see where Adam Petty crashed, and Kenny Irwin comes flying around the corner and crashes in the same spot and dies on the same spot. And all the reason we knew this, we were in the infield, and they have a little setup area there at Loudon for the press passes and the drivers, and it's all like elevated back up, and the drivers are coming out crying and this and that. How weird is that? Going to look, and then bang, the accident happens right in front of you. It's crazy.
Oh, so you saw the Irwin
Saw
thing
Kenny
happen.
Irwin happen, yeah. Jeez. We went up there specifically to look to see where Adam Petty had crashed, just to see this, I don't know, nostalgic thing. I'm a big Petty fan back in the race days. So we walked up there to see it. And just as we're standing there, we literally start to turn around, and you hear bang right in the corner, and you turn around and look, and you hear the skidding, and then boom, into the wall he went. And he died on the spot.
It's too bad.
Yeah, that was 12 years ago, I think. But, yeah, NASCAR.
Yeah, that's what it is, though. It's a brutal sport. Just think of the whole idea behind it. You're driving how fast?
Yeah,
200 miles an hour?
Plus, yeah.
Minimum.
In a tiny circle with 40 other maniacs doing the same thing? And you don't think there's bound to be an accident?
You don't think we'll ever see Nick Anastos in a race car, huh?
No.
Hell no.
No.
What if Taco Bell and Fat Boy sponsored
You're not going to catch me watching it either, by the way.
Yeah, I watched the Daytona race, and then I watched that one Talladega or Bristol where they have the high bankings. I mean, these guys are at a 60-degree angle.
Crazy.
Driving constantly.
Dangerous.
Wow. Talk about you can't put your coffee cup in there.
Have you ever driven one?
I have been in one. I've never driven one, but I've got to ride in, who the hell was he? It was through Budweiser. Maybe it was Ricky Craven. It was one
Dale
of those.
Earnhardt?
Bill Elliott. Bill Elliott. And I won a contest in this thing that day. So I got to jump in the car and do a couple laps with him. And I had to sign my life away before I did it, but I did it. I was a kid.
Sure.
I didn't care. I think I was like 19. Absolutely. If I die, I don't care. Here you go.
Sign me up.
And Loudon gets up to 160, something like that, 150, 160. It's not like the big tracks, but it was, I mean, you're just bang and you're gone.
Nice.
It was great. They did, I think, 2 or 3 laps. Fantastic. Fantastic. Loved it.
So-
How about you? You ever been in one?
No, but I've done the F1 formula thing in Boston.
That's fun.
That is awesome.
You know who owns
You got
that,
to do the safety video, wear the things and all that stuff.
You go
It was
through the
cool.
whole,
Yeah,
with a safety suit and everything.
It was cool.
Joe Perry from, is it Joe Perry's the guitar player from
Steve Perry?
Who's
Joe Perry?
Joe Perry's the guitar player for Aerosmith. Is it Joe Perry?
I think it's.
He owns that.
Oh, all right.
He's one of the owners in that. Yeah, F1 in Boston. Great place to go.
Yeah, it is cool.
Great place. You ever been there? F1, Nick?
Never
They have
heard
a
of it.
huge sports bar upstairs,
it's a
right?
good spot.
You go there and you actually get in a suit. They put you through a pre-drive racing safety thing, and you're in a suit, the helmet, the whole, and you're flying around the indoors.
Indoor and outdoor.
And they have outdoor.
Yep.
Back then they had indoor, but yeah, outdoor and indoor.
I
Pretty
did the
cool.
indoor. I didn't do the outdoor.
Yeah, pretty
I'm
cool.
all set.
It's fun, man. You're not a go-kart driving guy?
I love driving go-karts.
Well, that's basically
That's
it's
basically
F1.
what you're driving.
Yeah.
It's
But just
F1.
like a 70-mile-an-hour go-kart.
Oh, all right.
Oh, yeah.
All right, maybe then.
You can, there's
Maybe.
but there's no drive-throughs.
There's
there.
stoplights. There's tunnels.
No
It's pretty
drive-throughs,
cool.
Nick.
No? Well, then count me out.
So Garoppolo's playing the entire game tonight.
Correct.
And there's no other quarterbacks they would throw in?
Just Mallet.
What if
he gets
Garoppolo
hurt,
gets hurt?
then Mallet goes in.
So Mallett's just going to sit the bench.
He's chilling.
So you guys any get more insight as
He'll be
to
dressed.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah,
said.
yeah.
and he'll go in.
is it Mallet going to be the number 3? Is this the way this is going to go?
He's either going to be 3 or he's going to be cut. It's that simple.
Or 3, or they're just waiting like they mentioned yesterday about maybe a potential quarterback going down?
I think they hold him because they have the luxury of 2 players being suspended in Browner and Timms. So they don't have to go to 53. They go to 55. So what they can do is they can hold him, and then through 4 weeks, if they see enough out of Garoppolo tonight in that practice through those 4 weeks where they feel comfortable, I think Mallet is gone. But if they don't, they'll keep Mallet, and then someone else will get cut. Or they'll just cut Timms, who they're hanging on to.
I could see that because of the suspensions. It is essentially like getting an extra 2 spots for a month until those suspensions are up. Then you got to cut 2 then.
So
Who's the better quarterback, Mallet or Garoppolo?
Garoppolo's shown the
it's not
moxie.
even close.
He's shown the confidence to go out there and get it done, and that's what you want to see.
It's just so much smoother.
So do the starters all play tonight except for Brady?
No starters play tonight.
Not one starter
I don't
plays
think
tonight.
so.
Wha-
I don't think so.
If you have tickets to this game, what a
If
fugazi.
parking's not free, that's a travesty.
Thank God it's is it home? It's in the Giants.
No, it's at
the
MetLife.
Giants, yeah.
It should not be the same price as a regular season.
Absolutely
No,
not.
I agree with you.
I'm going to
there.
agree with there.
Yeah.
As far as saying it's a wasted trip, it's still football at the highest level.
Sure.
So
I think the best thing that happened to Brian Timms is that suspension because he would have been being cut by Monday. Instead, they now have 4 weeks. Someone could get hurt. Things could go awry.
Does
All
he
of a
get
sudden,
paid that time?
or he
No.
could still get cut.
He doesn't get paid though.
Well, he won't. I don't think he will because they can hold him and they don't lose a roster spot for holding him. So I think
Jesus,
they'll wait and see.
half the guys in the bubble. I'd be out there smoking weed, being like, "Hey, I'm suspended for 4 games."
He could still get cut. They could still decide.
Well, they
it's
can
not
cut
worth
him,
it.
but
That's what I mean.
But
He's
the
shown
Patriots
flashes
don't
of-
have to.
Yeah, they don't have to. He's shown really good
no,
ability
I'd
in the
be surprised.
preseason.
I think he makes it flat out all
He
year.
comes out tonight, has a great game. I think he's making this team no
Yeah,
problem.
I
So
agree.
he can play in the preseason. But
He'll play tonight. He'll play the whole game tonight, I bet.
Wow.
Him and Josh
What
Boyce,
position is he again?
wide receiver. Him
Okay.
and Josh Boyce are literally playing tonight for one spot. So it'll be whoever plays the best out of those two.
That's about right. Although Boyce might be the beneficiary of that suspension. He might get one of those 2 extra spots, is
See-
what I think. And they'll carry 6 healthy wideouts at least through the first month.
Wow. Little tidbits from the
See,
Orient.
yeah,
Love
but
it.
those are the kind of things you watch for in,
Yeah.
in these preseason games.
Yeah, that's why I like preseason.
Those are the storylines that make it interesting.
Yeah.
So
To me, I'd rather watch paint dry.
I like.
Just get
Or
the first game.
Or NASCAR.
I
Or
just
NASCAR.
love football. I watch college football.
I love college
religiously.
football.
But that's why I like the preseason because you see all those guys you got to see. You see who's battling
basically
for
a
those
college
roster
football all-star
spots.
game in a sense,
Absolutely.
right.
It's like you watching
So-
NASCAR and me watching preseason
I mean,
football.
there's a lot of question marks on the Patriots' offensive line now. We'll see all those rookies. Josh Klein, they'll be in there playing. See, I bet you the offensive line, other than Solder and Vollmer, will get the night off. Those two, everyone else will play. So we'll see.
Stephen Ridley?
I bet he plays.
You got to play him.
You
You
think
gotta
All
see
the
me-
running backs besides Vereen. Vereen will not play. I bet you Ridley plays.
I'd be
Brit-
surprised if Ridley played, and if he does play, I'd be surprised if he played much.
A lot of people think Ridley's playing for a roster spot. Mike,
Hey,
Just
listen.
don't count me amongst
Mike,
them.
Mike,
Don't count
Mike
me
Reese.
amongst them,
Mike
says
Reese
Nick
thinks
Anastos.
so of ESPN
That's
Boston.
great. I'm not going to change my opinion just because Mike Reese said so.
Why not? Mike Reese is a good guy.
Mike Reese can change his opinion based on what I say. How's that sound?
And that's, you heard it, folks.
That's right.
Hot Pants Anastos over here in his shorts today. It's been a great show. Thank Tim Britton for the Providence Journal joining us, talking Red Sox baseball. Patriots tonight, 7:30 from the MetLife Stadium, playing the New York Giants. And we'll be back at it next week. We'll be off tomorrow. Red Sox back at it tomorrow against Tampa Bay. Hope everybody has a great day. Look forward to talking to you. And don't forget, tonight, 6 to 8, Boston Billiards, fantasy football with Rich Flerra and Nick Anastos. Going to be live on the radio, and those boys will be down there. Get down there and get your fantasy picks and your tips. Check it out at the Boston Billiards. And Budweiser will be down there, too, so we want Bud folks down there. Lots of good things going on. Jim Censabella Show, live from ESPN, NHradio.com. Have a great week.
Come to Bellman Jewelers in tax-free Manchester, New Hampshire to discover what the Bellman's Advantage is all about. Bellman's has always featured quality jewelry